What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Colton and it's lunchtime right now. So let me look in the fridge and see what I have. So I have some rice, some leftover chicken soup, sour cream. There's a tomato in there, fruit, and some cheese. But I also have this Kirkland Signature Chicken Tortilla Soup. I think I'm gonna have that. All right, so I'm excited to try the Costco Chicken Tortilla Soup, but it doesn't look like there's any tortillas in it. I mean, they would be soggy if they put tortillas in there. It would be nice if they included some like tortilla strips to put on top. But here's what they have. The chicken and some of the vegetables have kind of all sunk to the bottom. Let's open this and warm it up. I have the plastic seal. Okay, well, as you can see, those seals are sometimes really hard to open. But sometimes what you can do, like you could try to keep pulling at it, but you might end up spilling your soup everywhere. So what I like to do is I like to take a fork or a butter knife. And just jab it through there. Cut to the edge. And then from there, I can just peel away the seal with my hands. It's kind of messy, but I can just wash them off. And it's much better than risking spilling the soup everywhere. I like to try to peel off the extra plastic that's left on the edge. Okay, maybe I won't bother with that. So you can either microwave the soup or you can cook it in a pot. I'm gonna cook it in a pot because I have time. You can cook it in the microwave if you're short on time. That's a great way. But I just prefer to cook things in a pot or an air fryer, anything but the microwave, because they just seem to taste better to me. Take this whole container of soup and pour it in. Tap all the chicken out from the bottom. There we go. And I'll set the stove to medium, I guess. Now I'm just gonna let my soup sit until it's steaming, and that's how I'll know it's hot. I don't think I have to stir it because there's nothing in there that should burn. Okay, so I know I said you probably don't need to stir it, but it's been 8 minutes since I put this on. It's not steaming yet, so I'm just gonna stir it around to try and distribute the heat. There we go. Now it's steaming. It's not steaming a whole lot, so it's not like you could warm your hands over it, but it should be ready now. Like I said earlier, cooking it in the pot is definitely slower than putting the soup in the microwave, but it should be worth it. can see some of the grease had started to float on top. So I'm gonna stir that back in. Ooh, I can smell that chili. With this soup, I definitely have to scoop to the bottom to get all of the chicken bits. All right, here's the soup that I've been so eager to try. Now, I'm a little bit worried about how spicy it's gonna be. Personally, I don't mind spice. I actually really like spice, but I could definitely smell the chili in here. So, I know for some people that high spice is a absolute deal breaker, even if this is a top-notch Costco quality product. Still feels warm. And if you're wondering about this koozie I have, my grandma got it for me. If you want one for yourself to keep from burning your hands when you take a hot bowl out of the microwave or just when you put hot soup into a bowl, you can pick one up using my links in the description. All right, let's see how this tastes. Still warm, thankfully. That was a big mouthful of vegetables. First thing I noticed, the vegetables are perfectly cooked. They're not mushy, but they're also not too hard. They have just a little bit of crispness on the outside and a softness on the inside. I'm gonna see if I can find a bite with more chicken. Okay, so the chicken is not the best, but it's pretty good. It's a hair on the dry side, but you know, it tastes fine. This soup, I also noticed, is salted perfectly. It does not need any more salt, nor is it overly salty. And I think the corn in here adds a nice touch of flavor without there being too much corn. It also looks like there's celery in here, as well as green peppers. So now let's talk about the spiciness of this chicken tortilla soup. At first, it was a shocker for me, but I like the spice. I think a lot of people out there, though, would not be able to handle this level of spice in a soup. So if you like spice, this is for you. If you don't like spice, I'd probably recommend the Costco chili instead if you want a warm dinner or lunch. You can also definitely use more chicken. You can buy bags of frozen pre-cooked chicken that you could throw in here, or you could just cook up your own chicken, but it definitely needs more. It doesn't have enough protein in it. I'm gonna try this with cheese now. Okay, I got the big bag of Kirkland Signature shredded Mexican style blend cheese. It's a little bit frozen because I only took it out of the freezer this morning, but it should work. It should melt in the hot soup. You're gonna get a good bit in there. There we go. That should do. So the Kirkland Signature Mexican shredded cheese is really good. Everything that I've tried it on, it works great with and enhances the flavor of. Now I'm gonna be honest, my other camera died, so I had to switch out, and in that time the soup probably got really cold, especially since that cheese was frozen, but I'm gonna try it anyway, and then probably microwave this to melt that cheese. Yeah, it tastes great. The cheese definitely enhances the flavor of this soup. It doesn't need to be microwaved though. It got cold. All right, the cheese is melty. My bowl is hot again. Thankfully, I had that koozie so I didn't burn my hands when I took this out of the microwave. Now, as you might have guessed, since I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts, it's 80 degrees outside, not the best weather for eating soup. And by the way, it's October, so it's really hot for it being fall. But anyway, this soup would probably be a lot better in winter or when you're sick and just need something that you can easily reheat. So let's try it with the melted cheese. That's good stuff. Well, I really love this chicken tortilla soup from Kirkland Signature, especially with the Kirkland Signature cheese in it. Let me know what you think of this soup down in the comments below, and if you would try it. Like I said, it is kind of spicy, so just beware of that if you ever pick this up. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more Costco food reviews, as well as tons of other great content. I will see you in the next video.